Hi there, everyone. It's Anthony, and I'm back again with this guy. I forgot his name. What was your name again?
Sam.
Okay, so this is Sam, and me and Sam are about to react to another episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So we're on episode 3 of season 3, and the title is Faith, Hope, and Trick. So, Sam, do you have any thoughts on what this episode might be about?
Well, as you pointed out, last couple seasons, the first two episodes weren't really about the overarching story, so I think this one will probably introduce us to a new threat, or maybe it'll be Spike and Drusilla again.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Because we did leave off with them in season 3. They just left.
Yeah, makes sense. It does seem like the show has been following a bit of a pattern, at least so far this season compared to last season. So I guess we'll see if that pattern continues with episode 3. I'm looking forward to where we're heading. I've enjoyed this season so far, so I say let's just go ahead and jump right in. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, season 3, episode 3, Faith, Hope, and Trick. Who's this?
I'm giddy.
Oh, I like you, Giddy. Always have.
Giddy.
It's the freedom. As
So
seniors,
it is
we
a
can
pretty
go
fun
on
word.
campus now for
Yeah.
lunch.
You can. See, you are.
But no, what if it's good?
That's a wavy outfit
Hey,
Willow has on.
Conversation. Or to do that thing with your mouth that boys like. Oh, I didn't mean that bad thing with your mouth. I meant that little half smile thing. See? You're supposed to
Willow
stop.
is just rambling.
I like when you do that.
Plot twist, Osmond, he likes when she does the other thing.
I saw that half smile, you little slut.
What the?
That was just a regular thing to say to somebody back then.
Yes.
Do you ever wish you grew up in the 90s?
Not really. Do you?
I don't know. Sometimes I watch stuff like this and I'm like, what would it have been like?
I sometimes think that, but then at the same time, I'm like, well, technically all this stuff that I like from the 90s, because I like a lot of 90s TV shows, I like a lot of 90s music, I still can listen to and watch all this stuff right now. So I'm like, I kind of
But
like
it's about the experience.
I kinda like
Anthony.
having
It's
all-
about experiencing the culture, bro.
I mean,
Like, I feel like when we get to an age where we have kids and our kids are fans of Kendrick Lamar, there's going to be a disconnect for them because we grew up actually listening to Kendrick Lamar, like, dropping albums. Like, I'm sure he'll still drop albums, but like it'll be a different vibe. Like, we'll be like, oh yeah, I remember Kendrick. He was over here when I was in high school dropping so and so and so and so. So it's like, I don't know. I just feel like it's like a I guess an era thing. Like, you just kind of, I feel like it would be a different vibe to just experience.
yeah, 100%. I definitely agree with that. It's definitely not the same listening to it retroactively or watching something retroactively. Like, I'm sure watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer when it came out was a much different experience than watching it now. But at the same time, you know, there's like how you brought up us listening to Kendrick Lamar. I mean, there's a lot of people that came up listening like Tupac and Biggie. And, you know, we don't get to actually have that experience, but we get this one. And our kids and grandkids will have their own things. And so I wouldn't have minded, I guess, growing up then. But it's like I kind of enjoy all the luxuries of life now as well, where technology is, the fact that I have a video production company that I was able to start for relatively cheap compared to probably what I would have had to pay in the 90s. Like, it's just like things have progressed so much, and just like, I guess social issues kind of, even though it seems like we're going backwards now, but like, it just feels like things have progressed so much that I'm kind of happy to be alive now. You know what I mean? Or to be
Yeah.
the age I am now. But I totally understand where you're coming from too.
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from too, man.
Italy is not a haven for the brothers, strictly the Caucasian persuasion here in the day.
Okay.
The Caucasian persuasion.
I ran the
This
statistics.
really took me by surprise.
DC look like Mayberry, and ain't nobody saying boo about it.
I'm going to rip her spine from her body, and I'm going to eat her heart and suck the marrow from her bones.
That was very graphic. What
Oh
the?
my gosh.
Yeah, I guess that's already in itself as a new direction for the season.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's not like we haven't seen a black character, but like we haven't seen a black vampire.
Wasn't there a black vampire in the beginning of season 2, but he died in the first episode? Remember that guy? Because you said you thought he was about to be around longer, but he just died.
Did I?
Yeah. You said.
Dang.
Yeah, you said you thought he might have been like the master or something. Yeah, this version is definitely a little bit slowed down, but.
I had to.
How come Angel always looks like a different person when he's not wearing black?
Oh God, Angel.
Go to hell!
Is that why he's wearing white, so he can bleed over it? Oh my gosh.
I did.
That was a crazy dream.
Yeah. Manifestation of her guilt. Definitely.
Wow. Like mother, like daughter.
But since then, you know, small stuff. Floating feather, fire out of ice, which next time I won't do on the bedspread.
That's interesting though. Willow's doing all these spells.
Yeah, I like her learning more about witchcraft. I kind of want Xander to have his thing too.
Scott, what are you doing here?
You told me if I came after 8, I could run into Buffy. I'm sorry, I'm a bad liar. It's not good for the soul.
I don't think that guy thrives on sunshine.
I bet it's nothing. They're probably just making out. Hey!
That's not
Sunnydale,
what making
Cordelia.
out sounds like.
This won't hurt.
Yo, wait a minute, what?
It's okay, I got it. You're Buffy, right?
Dang, she really
Thanks,
took
B.
that dude
Couldn't have
down.
done it without you.
Hey, she's not even gonna explain herself?
I guess not.
From outside, so I go tearing out stark nude, and this church bus is broke down.
Xander's like, stark
vamps
nude?
feasting on half. Isn't it crazy
Wow.
how slaying just always makes you hungry and horny?
2 minutes. So then Kendra was called, and then when she died, Faith was called.
But why were you called here?
Well, I wasn't. My watcher went after some retreat thing in England, and so I skipped out. You know,
Was this, also naked?
well, the alligator was.
Xander.
Right with his girl. Yeah, right with,
Really?
like, what, your girlfriend is right.
And lectures and discussions. It's a great honor to be invited. Also, I'm told.
It's boring. They're too
Oh,
stuffy
snap,
for
so
that.
they didn't invite him?
Maybe I should.
Isn't he the watcher that actually has a slayer?
Giles. I've seen him.
Seriously.
Gothela, Angel, me.
Sword.
See, that's what I thought. But
Giles, look, I've got makeup tests to pass.
Maybe I should dress up as one and put a stake to your throat.
Oh, please, God, don't
Whoa.
let that be sarcasm.
What the heck?
They're really gonna do that too, I bet.
Definitely 100% said no for all time. It's just, you know, you don't enter into these things lightly, you know, there's repercussions to consider, and
But I mean, if Scott ain't willing to wait for your pace, Step Buffy, you don't need him.
Global. I mean, you know, you get the hankering for the blood of a 15-year-old Filipina, and I'm on the net and she's here the next day. Express air.
What?
We're out in force.
So now we can actually see this guy's face.
Food's here, boys.
They were hiding it earlier in the car.
Yeah, they were. Oh my
goodness.
gosh.
He said food's here. Disregards the
So you're
pizza.
a slayer too?
Mom,
Just a second, honey. You know,
Oh
Buffy
my
never
gosh.
talks that way. Why do you love
Dang, I don't like this
when I'm
fake chick,
fighting.
bro.
It sounds like you're the only person that doesn't.
I just don't like. I just feel
Aside
like
from
I'm Team
Buffy.
Buffy, man.
Yeah, it looks like that's just you and Buffy. You see, like everybody else just wants to hear all about Faith.
working on it.
Oh snap! Isn't the episode
can
called
we,
Faith,
get you
Hope,
another
and
song?
Tricks?
Oh, you bet.
And Trick, yeah.
Dang, that's clever.
It's really cool.
I mean, 2 of you fighting is safer than 1, right?
I guess.
That's a valid point, though, Mom.
Yeah.
And that means you. When did you die? You never told me you died.
It was just for a few minutes.
When did you
I hate
die?
this. I hate your life. I don't want you to die.
Again.
Oh.
I'm not gonna die. I
Again.
gotta do my job.
Yeah.
Besides, like you said, I've got help now.
Yo, she really is grubbing on that food.
All the help I can.
Really?
Man, Faith ain't got no couth, bro.
I'm 5x5 here, B, living entirely large. Actually wondering about your problem.
5 by 5. Rubik's Cube.
Dang.
Imagine some Slayer on Slayer action.
Hey, I really thought they were gonna fight.
Looks like they're just trying to get these people out the way first.
Yeah, I was about to say they're warming up right now.
It's harder than that.
Devon, get the tables.
Dang. This is why I don't like Faith, bro. Like, she impulsive. Like, what are you doing? You're literally just beating this dude up. And of course, Buffy just has to do it herself.
I'm talking about you living large on that vampire.
Living
Chief, doing
large.
violence to vampires upsets you. I think you're in the wrong line of work.
What?
Yeah, Faith definitely in the team player, huh?
Faith is a piece of work, man.
This is Greek. It means the worst of the worst. It's also the name of a vampire so old that his hands and feet are cloven.
Oh, that's that guy.
I'm gonna talk to Faith, see if khaki trousers rooms.
Okay, Stos.
Watch her be making out with Scott or something.
Well, there's Scott.
Oh, dang.
More.
Keaton is key. Oh, I got you a little present. A guy in the retro shop said that it represents.
That'd be funny if they killed him.
Something I'd very much like to have with you.
Wait, they killed who?
Scott.
Scott? Oh, dang.
You like?
Oh, snap. Oh, my gosh. Wait, is this...
I can't. I can't do this.
Oh, my gosh.
Dang, so they did something worse.
Faith, you run, he runs after you.
That's where the head start comes in handy.
Oh, whoa. What is that gonna do? That she put the chain on the door.
Scream later! Stay now! We're okay.
Awfully
happened?
bold of you to assume that.
Don't die!
Fight, Faith.
Imagine how that feels with them hands, too. Oh, she was
Those
just-
hoof hands.
She was just punching that vampire earlier like that, too. Now she's getting punched herself. Whoa.
Dang.
Well, the birds are with him.
Oh, wow. Dang.
There's a reason these vengeance crusades are out of style.
Is he too thick to be staked?
I guess you need a bigger stake, Slayer.
They probably about to pull something huge out on him. Oh, whoa.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That was a bigger steak, all right.
You hungry? Starved.
What if they just started making out?
You sound like Xander. That's the first thing you thought of?
She really came through in the end. She had a lot to do.
Yeah, no, she didn't. The work was already done, Buffy.
Had it behind her.
You just don't want to give Faith any credit.
No, I don't.
Angel was
And I'm not.
cured. Angel was cured.
That's so smart of them to withhold that information until now.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
I was about to take him out, and something went through him, and he was Angel again.
Well, now Willow knows her spell worked.
I know you don't like me playing with mystical forces, but I can really help with this binding spell.
There is no spell.
So you mean He did that just to get that out of her. That's beautiful.
Okay, you know what? I thought about it, and I'm in. When do you want to go?
Wow.
I have one thing that I have to do tonight, and then I'm good.
Don't kill Scott, Joss.
That's not natural.
What? Yo. Why is he all wet?
And he's wet and naked. Like, it's like, that's a crazy moment, but it's like, he just dropped down. It's this like wet and naked, like lump of meat. It's just like.
Is that like supposed to be a metaphor for new birth?
Maybe so, yeah. Like,
I mean, gotta be. There's no reason why he should have been covered in fluids coming from heaven. I'm just saying.
He wasn't coming from heaven, man. He was coming from hell.
Oh, he wasn't?
No, he was in hell. That's why when he got sent to that thing, he got sent to hell.
Well, he dropped down, so I was assuming he was coming from heaven.
No, he was in hell.
I was assuming that because he was good when he died, that he was now, like, that he went to heaven because he was a good guy again.
But remember that portal that opened, the whole reason it opened was because it was about to swallow the world and take the world into hell. For story purposes, the only, way to close it was to put him in there. So so he went to hell. It came back covered in fluids. Oh, it's funny when you put it
Well,
that
I
way.
guess if it was from hell, then that makes sense.
Yeah.
Anything goes down there.
Anything you don't know what could have been going on down there. So that's a good point. So what did you think about this episode?
On the Buffy scale, I give it a 7.
Okay.
Maybe a 6, just because I don't like Faith, and she just put me off the whole episode. Like,
really? So Faith took away from you? Mean like she made you think it was a worse episode, or you just were annoyed by her character?
I just was annoyed by her character. It wasn't a worse episode, and it actually turned out to be. I'll say there were some pretty poetic moments that I felt like kind of took place in this episode, like the whole her being. I guess she had to be the one to put the stake through him. Like now that I'm thinking about it, even though the work wasn't like. Even though Buffy did a majority of the work and all the fighting, I feel like her losing her watcher to that guy, it was almost like a cathartic experience for her to stake him. So I think that was kind of poetic. I think the her getting the ring, that reminding her of Angel, and even when I thought because I was like, oh okay, so now he's serious, now they're gonna just kill him. That was my first instinct, but I felt like the ring thing was such a beautiful way to I don't know, it just felt that small moment for me kind of just stuck out because it was like, dang, she really has PTSD from that whole situation,
Yeah, definitely.
And then Giles using the whole spell thing as a means to try to get Buffy to open up and be a little bit more honest about what happened and how she feels and how it affected her. I feel like that was I thought that was the most poetic thing of the episode. The whole time I'm thinking they're trying to close this portal and save something because they didn't finish everything from season 2, but it was really just because Buffy needed it.
I guess Giles just really knew what Buffy needed, huh?
Oh yeah, and then Giles not getting invited to the Watcher meet, if there is one. Mm-hmm. But I guess maybe she could have been lying about that. But nah, he was talking about it like it was an actual thing, so...
Yeah, it seemed to be an actual thing that Giles knew of, and he seemed to be pretty sad about it the whole episode, because the whole episode Giles seemed like he was kind of, down in the dumps. Yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought that, the characters in this episode were entertaining. Faith, she was pretty, from an audience standpoint, she's kind of annoying because we see her from, Buffy's perspective and everything, basically. And we see how she's kind of being really, like you said, impulsive, and she's being a bit of an attention hog. Although, also everybody was just giving her attention. It's not like, a lot of cases, it's not like she was taking it from Buffy. Other people was just giving it to her, you know what I mean? But it was she was definitely, her character was feeling like it was meant to be a total like antagonist. I use that word kind of loosely to Buffy in this episode, just because of how how much she was affecting Buffy negatively. She was taking her friends, taking Scott, taking her mom, basically all that stuff. But
Yeah.
but me personally, I still enjoyed her contribution to the episode, even though she was aggravating. I didn't feel like it was aggravating in like a bad, writing or bad production way. It was more like aggravating in they did a good job of portraying her way, and it makes you aggravated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the Mr. Trick guy was just so funny. I didn't even know what he was talking about half the time when he was saying stuff, but it just sounded so funny. Everything he said, and he was like, "Oh, he's about to get killed, huh? Oh well, then that's tough luck," or whatever he said.
But he made a pretty valid point. Like the vengeance thing is kind of like, and I guess that's kind of like Joss Whedon's way of saying like a vengeance storyline is not what we're about to do here. Mm-hmm. Like, because it's like they deaded that in they brought it up in one episode and then they just killed it.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, but the Trick guy, he was like, I think he was talking about like something with like cell phone towers, or like something with the internet and like being able to like demand a body if you needed to have a body, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like some way. It seems like
he
got
said,
some
25 megabits per second. He's talking about fiber optic cables.
It seems like he's got some kind of like master plan, like a whole like scheme that I feel like that's probably going to be and I feel like he's definitely the bad in this episode, this season now.
The big bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, his plan was a whole nother thing. I didn't understand what he was talking about, but I mainly just meant like all the little like sayings and stuff and the way he was saying things and the phrases he was using. I was like, this guy is so funny and entertaining. He just has a funny way of saying stuff. I don't know. So I thought he was pretty. I thought him and Faith were both pretty interesting characters.
I had some. Who do you think is better, Kendra or Faith?
Better in what way?
Who do you like better?
Well, I mean, so far we've only seen like Faith being annoying. You know what I mean? Like being aggravating. So it's like, in terms of who do you just like better as a character, is like Kendra just seems like a much more tolerable person and whatnot. On the other hand, it seems like Faith has, just from what they've shown so far at least, has more potential for three-dimensionality, if that's the word or whatnot, because it seemed like Kendra, they really kind of just boxed her into being this one character with a fake accent, and like it just seemed like they kind of boxed her in and like made her character a little two-dimensional and kind of just goofy in some ways, like that's my only shirt and all this other stuff that was just kind of she kind of felt like a caricature in a way. But Faith actually seems like a real person, and it seems like she said, you don't even know what I've gone through and all this other stuff. So it seems like there's a lot more to her than meets the eye. So it seems like as a character, she has a lot more potential to be something than Kendra did. What do you think?
I think similar to you. Like, honestly, like Kendra as a character is someone for the audience to actually like get behind, because like even her argument with Buffy didn't really seem that serious. But Faith is more of a character that she seems to have a little bit more depth. Mm-hmm. Like there's, like you said, there's more potential for her to have more dimensions than what we've seen so far. Like you can already tell that they're setting it up for her to be an important fixture in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least, if not important, but at least have somebody in their back pocket that they can go back to,
right?
And like flesh out later if they wanted.
Definitely, you definitely get that sense from that. So, in a way, this is following that pattern, then, huh? Of the first season, like first episode kind of wraps up things from the last season. The second episode is a monster of the week, and then the third episode introduces new characters.
Yeah.
Just like season 2. That's pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah, I guess the hope was kind of more metaphorical in this episode.
Hope was Scott. His full name is Scott Hope. I guess I missed when I forgot when they
Oh,
said
okay.
that. So it was Faith,
Yeah,
Hope, and Trick. So yeah, so Faith the Slayer, Scott Hope, and then Mr. Trick.
Nice. That was pretty smart of them.
Right, exactly. They just literally said the names of 3 new characters they introduced in the title. So yeah, that is pretty smart. And pretty cool because it's so direct, but then at the same time it's like it's just interesting because you're like, okay, wow, so they named a whole show after these characters. So what do they have coming next? I guess you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you think about Angel being back?
So I don't know. My only concern is, did they bite off more than they could chew? And I mean, maybe not, because Angel's always been a part of the show. But like, I don't know. Like, something tells. What if they try to like cram all this story into one like? But I mean, maybe they won't. Maybe they just bring Angel back and just show us that he's back now. And so like, but at the same time, like I kind of wanted to like the show to exist without him, just so like. But now I'm kind of interested to see how it's going to shake up her relationship with Scott, and like what everybody's going to think. Like, are they going to be like mad at him because he did all that stuff? Or are they going to like? I mean, of course they're going to be mad, but like, how are they going to react to him now? What are they going to? Because like, to be honest, it's like it's not like he can be back with Buffy again, because then it'll just happen all over again.
Right, exactly.
If anything, I think he'll be an ally. At least. Just to clear his conscience, you know?
Yeah. Makes sense. Well, all right then. That's going to be it for this episode. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought about it. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And head on over to Patreon for full uncut reactions to Buffy the Vampire Slayer way ahead of the schedule that they're uploaded on YouTube. That's going to be it. I'll see you all later.